the organizers of this great conference. Irene, thank you very much indeed for inviting me, although a little late. I was invited, I think, on the 29th, which is a couple of days ago, and I'm here, not because I didn't have anything to do, but because I value this very much, very close to my heart. Lordship Judge Laibucha Maura, the government spokesman, Dina, in short, PS. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Indeed, if I was to say nothing, and just say one or two things, I would say, as I sit at the helm of the docket of ICT and digital economy, I shall work as hard as possible to make sure that this space is inclusive for all and all and all. That includes persons living with disability. Aura, you remember, Isaac, that when I was governor of Kiambu, I managed to keep the trophy for inclusivity for 4 consecutive years. I want to make sure that for the time I'm in the docket, we shall improve this space and make it available because it's a constitutional right for all persons, able and unable, one way or the other, to access digital platforms and be able to live comfortably even if we are different in different ways. Allow me to go through a small write-up about what it is that some people wrote for me. I always do a disclaimer that sometimes what we read is not exactly what we have written, but we are privileged to have people to work with and help us write. So whatever you feel is good, that is me. Whatever else you do not like, it is not me, and I shall show you who it is because they are in the room. So it gives me immense pride and great pleasure to join you today at the opening of the 6th Inclusive Africa Conference in the heart of Nairobi. So karibu sana, those who are visitors from outside Kenya. We love you, we welcome you here. Kenya hakuna matata, meaning no problems. Since its inception in 2020, this annual gathering has become the leading platform for shaping the conversation around digital accessibility and assistive technology in Africa. Today, we are not just talking about technology, but also the people whose lives have been empowered and those who have dedicated their work to ensuring that no African is left behind in the digital revolution. Remember, there was a lady who I think was the first performer here, was telling us about her life, Paralympic competitor, and now a trainer. And she was saying her best friend is GP Chat and the other platforms. I can tell you, my dear, you are not alone. This is where we all are. That's why you find we all look equally clever. Because these days, or equally the other way, because these days we just rely on AI. So AI is good and we should make use of it, adapt to it where it can help, and also avoid issues that Senator Maura was talking about in terms of misinformation and disinformation. Let me begin by extending my heartfelt appreciation to inABLE for its enduring commitment to this cause. Remarkably, you have established 8 digital centers to benefit persons with disabilities, training over 3,000 young people with disabilities and logging over 15,000 training hours. Beyond digital access, you have nurtured confidence, innovation, and digital among youth who deserve nothing less than our highest support. I'm particularly looking forward to visiting one of the centers, actually Thika School for the Blind, a school I have supported. I was once the MP in Thika Jujarero, and I truly supported that school, and I will continue to do so as long as I have the energy to get to Thika School for the Blind. Ladies and gentlemen, technology is a great equalizer, but only when it is truly accessible. Kenya is proud to be one of the most digitized nations on the continent. Today, over 20,000 government services are accessible online, and all government payments are processed digitally, offering citizens the convenience of accessing public service from their homes. Irene has mentioned to me that most of these services are not well accessible to persons living with a disability. And like I said in my opening remark, that I shall make sure that we open up this space so that we can all equally enjoy digital services from government. Under the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, we have made bold commitments under the digital superhighway and creative economy pillar. We are laying down 100,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable, setting up digital centers in institutions of higher learning, connecting primary and secondary schools, and building public infrastructure across the nation. Our aim is not just connectivity, but creating meaningful digital opportunities for every Kenyan. Our target is to ensure 20 million Kenyans are digitally literate by 2027. However, these figures are only significant if they encompass every Kenyan, including those who are blind, deaf, or experiencing mobility, cognitive, or learning disabilities. That is why initiatives like the Inclusive Africa Conference become essential. Your work ensures that digital transformation is not a privilege, but a right. Ladies and gentlemen, now, one of the most exciting developments in our digital journey is artificial intelligence. Earlier this year, in the month of March, we launched the Kenya Artificial Intelligence Strategy 2025-2030. The strategy aligns with the Emerging Africa AI strategy, which seeks to unlock AI's inclusive, ethical, and transformative power for all Africans. In both documents, digital inclusion is not an afterthought. It's in the foundation. The Kenya AI strategy is a call to action and a commitment to building a digital future that serves all our people. Our strategy includes 4 key pillars that directly impact persons with disabilities. 1 is inclusive AI development. 2 is accessible digital infrastructure. 3rd is skills and capacity development. And finally, collaboration and stakeholder engagements. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's Inclusive Africa Conference is a reminder that when we talk about innovation, we should also talk about justice, progress, and access. When we celebrate digital disruption, we should also demand digital dignity. As a ministry, we are open and committed to partnerships. We believe the transformation we seek will be realized only through collaboration with innovators, global tech companies, organizations like MasterCard, and most importantly, organizations of people living with disabilities. With the enactment of the Persons with Disabilities Act 2025, we now have the legislative foundation to back our efforts. We will work with you to ensure these gains are realized, not in theory, but in practice, in every home, classroom, office, and online space in the Republic. I therefore invite you all to work with us as we make Kenya a more nation for digital inclusion in Africa. Let us create a future where everyone can learn, thrive, and lead, supported by accessible technology and sustained by inclusive policies. It is now my distinct honor and privilege to declare the 6th Inclusive Africa Conference 2025 officially open. I also want to wish you a fruitful discussions over the course of this 3 days conference, and I eagerly await your updates on the tangible outcomes of this event. Thank you indeed.